I was chatting with a cousin yesterday about how we were getting into a discussion about a lot of these black and women of color creators in the film beyond Shonda Rhimes and Lena Waithe. It's like a lot of them, you know, that is behind directing and all these things, and as well as being in the writer's room as well, or the showrunner. And I expressed to her, I said, you know, people who love black culture write fantasy. They make black males have Fortune 500 businesses and multi-million dollar companies that has been in the family since the 1700s, and just very fantasy stuff. Love. They don't even show anything ghetto. They show everything about wealth. And these are black people who love black people. This is how they write them. And I was expressing how these people who are writing these type of shows, right? Because art imitates life, and we'll get to that in a minute. They don't like black people or anything people of color in their culture. Like I have to even throw people of color into like in their culture. And that's why they continue to write the way that they do. But yet, when you are a creative, an artist especially, a writer especially, you are but a lowly vessel of the muses. Okay? A lowly vessel of the muse. So whatever the characters tell you is what you write. And human nature, human beings do the things that they do for whatever reason that they do it. And because of that, that is why you have what you have. Um, we also went further, and we were talking about shows like The Shy. I only watched a few episodes of that, and all of these different shows. She was like dragging them. So it's like, oh, Mammy Scribes. And I still was saying to her that the story tells itself. As I've been thinking and creating over here and outlining, that's the word, outlining. What I have come to see more and more and more, how very staged this world is beyond what people even recognize, that even people's culture has been given to them. Oh no, don't want no chat overlay. People's culture, how they stand, how they walk, how they talk, how they say their slang. Where on TV we begin to see all this slang. Who was saying all of these things? Who was telling us uh, that this was what the culture is? As someone who has lived in the concrete jungle for a very long time, I can tell you from being there or living up north in general, the reason when I come down here, I can tell who is truly from up north and who is not. And one of the number one ways is people up north have an accent within an accent. So depending where you live at, is how you're going to talk. See, I know that I've mobbed between being in Queens and between Brooklyn, between Manhattan. I used to mob in the Bronx. Long Island is like a family spot that I go to Dave and Buster's because I was right there. All of these, and then I had my grandmother and my grandpa. My grandpa still had a bit of his southern accent. My grandmother, she was very Brooklyn mixed with Manhattan. I can go on. This is exactly, this is a part of the making of me. And then I have family and people who are Caribbean that I was around, and then a little Spanish, and it goes on and on and on. So whenever someone just has a few words that they say, I'm like, anybody can jump on slang. Anybody can jump on a certain way that people say things like, I'm dead ass, or word, or that's fucking crazy, that's crazy work, that's the OD. I mean, it's just simple little slang words. But when someone truly comes from somewhere and someone truly has an accent, there is a whole way in which they speak. It's a dude that I at my job, I call him Brooklyn because he's so Brooklyn. His walk, his vibe, he's everything daggy, everything dapper, everything dapper, or something he had said to me the other day. And I was like, damn, I ain't heard that one in a minute, bro. But I had to go to work. I mean, I was at work. I had to keep him moving. But I'll catch him later on that. I was like, damn, I ain't heard that shit in a minute. A true New Yorker or a person from Jersey or anybody from anywhere, especially up north and even the West Coast, there are people that still keep that old slang going. You feel me? They still keep that old way of motherfucking life going. Still say that that's dope, that's fly. You know what I mean? Nah, I mean, that's another one. Still say things like, I've even heard people still say job turkey. Believe it or not, they still got slang and they say, man, that shit mad crazy, bro. That shit crazy as fuck, man. People still say shit like that. At least I always did. Um, uh, a lot of people will speak the slang of Caribbean slang within that slang. It's all in one. Okay? All of that shit. Feel me? But anyway, the title is silly is what you feel is best in response. Right? That means that a lot of people who tend to associate around black culture, such as myself, when I would be on the panels with the divestors and other people's panels, and I would cut up and behave like this because it always seems that nothing about black culture is serious. And other people tend to troll and do that when they get on their platforms because something just doesn't seem serious about these people, right? Why is that? Because it's silly, right? See, I'm going to talk about this example because these are the examples that I can pull into my radar, that's in my radar right now. You have people, I remember, they were having this discussion about how mothers were dressing at the school. and how inappropriate the mothers were dressing at the school. And I said, you guys must live in the slums because that doesn't happen in well to do places. And they got very offended by what I said. It was like, don't nobody live in those slums. And maybe the word offended them, but that's really what it is, the slums. And I was serious because when you live somewhere in a certain environment, it's just put it that way, and with certain rules are at, the mothers are not, it's not acceptable for mothers to dress a certain way. They will put a flyer out. Something will be said, please make sure that your booty cheeks is covered at the bottom, or make sure that your breast is covered, or make sure that you look appropriate when you have to go pick your kid up from school. Only in places like that do you have to deal with that. And I don't think nothing is wrong with a mother in her pajamas to take her children to school. I really don't. Or a father and his, getting up. Everybody doesn't have to go to work early in the morning. Some people just have to make sure they're washed up and they get the breakfast ready, they get the kids ready, drop them off, and go back home and get some more sleep. That's their routine during the day. Now, another thing that's silly. You have people who are engaging in certain topics and conversations that I'll listen to and go, well, I don't really think it's that deep, but here they go. But as people like myself who are writers and artists, these are the people we just write about, tell stories and stuff like that. But let's get to the point. Let's take the divestors and what is silly about them. Well, first of all, they have a right to a lot of things that they are saying, right? Let's just pull something that they say. The black male doesn't own anything. I'm just telling you this. Black male doesn't own anything. He doesn't have any mega corporations and this, that, and the third, right? And how he was nothing. And when you was a slave, he was a slave with you and this, that, and the third. That he sold you and the white male betrayed him. We know the story, right? What becomes very silly is because when no one can get into the realm of having a much more in-depth conversation about black culture, it is a culture that comes from slavery. And so, therefore, psychologically, a culture that comes from slavery is going to respond different to many things than anybody in this world, correct? Because coming from slavery, you're not going to have the same experience as psychologically. And let's just call it what it is. Slavery is only now 7 generations back. That's not a long time, people. That's my great grandmother, rest in peace to her. My grandmother's, rest in peace to them, grandmother just beat the legality of slavery. And these women came from the Caribbean. And so they still had their form of slavery that was still going on there in that Caribbean. Hence, this is why Caribbean people had came to America and they're the biggest, hardest workers as far as 2 or 3 damn jobs. And here go Bella Calise acting the damn fool. Okay, right? Now let's get to it. So what makes it silly is when a divester is saying, Well, I'm tired of hearing about slavery. When they begin to say the things that they say and not have a depth to the conversation. So, yes, people come on the panel and they troll. Or if they try to come on there and talk decent, they still end up trolling and acting a goddamn fool. Because, hey, it's energy. But why? Why such silliness when it comes to these type of topics, right? Because what is going on is we see it when we listen to it, right? It's like you have no depth. You see? You have no true depth in understanding or even digging into your own psychological stuff to why you are talking about the word monkey, the word ape and gorilla, and what's that other word? Shitlog, and the N word with the hard R and all this type of shit. Don't get me wrong. Some there are some situations where the N word with the hard R is very much the word to describe it. Okay, but that to me is not limited to any just one race. But that's me. But these are the different things. And so when people are talking like this and offending, and to the point of offending everyone in the room and purposely doing that, now we're gone into the realm of childishness. We're going into the realm of silliness. And so therefore, who's going to listen? Therefore, who's going to take it serious? And this is what I realized with myself. Why did I do that? Why did I come on these panels and act like this? Why did I cut up? Because I just because with black culture, that's what comes with it. It's so deep because these people who are saying I am divesting from said this in blank, right? Fill in the blank, are the same people who are acting and behaving as the very thing that they're divesting from, are the same people who are indulging in dialogue about the very thing that they're divesting from. And I have said this for a long time. Something in these people miss black culture. Something in, not black culture, excuse me, blackness. They don't want to be alone over there. Just hear me out. If you're living your I gated I you've heard people come on here and say this. Well, I move far away from them. I live in a community where I don't even see them, meaning black people, right? Or people of color. Because they're not just talking about black people, they're talking about black, Hispanic, and Latin. I don't have to see y'all. And all it is. And I move far away from y'all. And all I see is cows and this, that, and the third. They don't really want to be alone. And they want other black people to share wherever they are in it, because why even get on the microphone and talk about it? And then there's psychologically some kind of control factor in it, because it's like you just want people to stop being who they are. A culture that was systematically created. Do you hear me? Systematically created through Hollywood, yes, through TV, through slavery. Has anybody ever studied the test, the scientists, the doctors, and what was happening on that field when black people were in slavery? Oh, you need to research that. There's a reason to this day that many black people do not like to go to the doctor, and why it's a good thing that people in general don't, they want a certain doctor, a certain person to be their doctor, but mainly black people are that way. There's a reason for that that stems from slavery. It's a slave culture. You see, when a group of people are saying we're going to divest said fill in the blank from the culture, from the lifestyle, from the way y'all dress, from the way y'all wear y'all hair and them nasty dread shit locks and shit. I'm not saying this. This is what they're saying. I'm not saying this, okay? All of these things. Now it falls into the realm of what people begin to say is self hate. See, at first I was like, no, I don't think it's self hate. I don't. But now I'm starting to understand why people are referring to their content and the way these people talk as self hate. There is no depth, there is no wisdom. Okay? You're sitting here and you're celebrating people saying the black fatigue. I say it's the ratchet fatigue. I don't think it's just the black fatigue. People are tired of the ratchet behavior that people are just carrying on because Saturn is in Aries now. Okay, the zodiac sign of reckless behavior. Okay, I'm saying when it's misused, it's reckless as fuck. People are tired of people just out of order, It's a ratchet fatigue. So you have that. You have divestors celebrating people being detained by ICE, being snatched away from their families. How dark is that when these divestors come from a culture of people who were snatched away from their family? I'm talking about slavery here. You have these people. Do you ever notice that people who are divested from black culture, the first thing you need to look at is their hair? But then my partner said to me, I want to see their hairline, and begin to tell me how people who hide their culture or their race, they hide their hairline because that's where you can see where they what they are. And I said, God damn it, you got a major motherfucking point there. Never thought about that, right? You always see the passport bro or the divested bro. He has on that damn scarf over his head, over that hairline, right? She always wears the most ridiculous wigs, right? Um, or she makes sure her hair is super straight. Um, or yeah, that's right. Or when she wears her hair a certain way, you do not see her hairline. And he will just completely not take care of his hair at all. He will let his hair get all nappy and matted. He won't moisturize it. He won't do nothing. This is what I have come to see with a true divested black person, right? Now, I've heard a few of them say that they braid their hair a lot, or they're always putting their hair in braids. Okay? Now, and I believe that they do that because that is something that their partner, husbands, or whatever are attracted to. But let's not digress here, which I'm not digressing. So, all of these different things, at the end of the day, these people are advocating for a culture of people they know none about. You feel me? So you know none about these cultures, but you're advocating for them and advocating for someone to blend in and date them. And this is where it gets very ignorant because those of us from the city or who have lived a life around multicultures, and I mean multicultures, we know that the Black, Hispanic, and Latin is all a family culture, whether they accept each other or not. But then there's a caste system and a colorism system that falls into it. Is this a European Hispanic? You see, or this is a Hispanic that comes from a very ancient bloodline of the ancestors or the indigenous ones. Are we dealing with a Latin or a Latinx? And we go on and on and on, but we're all tied together because these cultures have all been enslaved as well. It's just that the light skin has made them believe that they were the slave masters, but they were not. That's a topic you have to go research yourself. So all of these things I'm telling you, these are not the topics that the divestors want to touch. They find the most ignorant thing out of their mouths to say, to respond. They find the most mean things that they can say. But isn't it interesting that the men who were dragging, knuckle dragging Black women were also divested Black men? So now we're dealing with a parallel of the divested Black male and a divested Black woman. Now, she sits here and she says, you know, Black women, Black men just don't like you. They really don't love you. They like to take it down to the base, da 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 da. But there's no conversation about levels of life. There's no conversation about spirituality. There's no spiritual conversation, if at all. There's no understanding about levels of life and frequencies of life and who and what you attract in your life. There's no conversation about the woman knowing the power that she has when she stands in somebody's life or knowing what she is worth. There's no quality of conversation like that. And then when there's an example, it is the most lowest of examples. Even if they do find women who are, of a certain caliber, but there still holds no depth. Meaning that if we take a woman who is at a certain caliber, but she's choosing a loser to date, what is the depth of that? What is going on within the culture of people who come from a slave culture where the woman who is, no matter if she is of a certain status in her life, she still will be with a loser that she's taking care of. We have to dig into what that is about. Do you understand where I'm going here? But see, when you talk like this, you're instantly labeled as a mammy. But let's get into the mammy. Has anybody ever dug into the psychology of the mammy? The mammy is the most abused woman on the slave field. She's the most used up one. She has to survive the way she has to survive. That's a whole nother topic in itself. But let's go back to what I said about what I said earlier and a few seconds ago and why that makes me a mammy to say those things. Because if I have an ounce of understanding of Black culture, that means I'm going to have compassion for the Black male or empathy or understanding for the Black male. And that is not exactly what it means, but to them, that's what it is. What is their attack on the Black male? Again, they're going to call me a mammy for saying this, but this is logical, critical thinking conversations I'm having here. They don't want the Black woman to produce with the Black male. It's just that simple. They want his gene, his genetics, his anything to be wiped completely out. And the only way that he can be wiped out is if he's wiped out. But oh, how have the tables turned? The Black woman has become public enemy number one. The Black woman has been on the radar. The Black woman, excuse me, y'all. The Black woman has been listed out as terrorists. You can go check it out. There's a list of Black women who are labeled as terrorists. But why has that happened to her? Because it goes to show the power that the woman has. It goes to show the power that the woman holds. And it goes to show that life is truly a mirror. Life is truly what is being reflected back to you. And it's only through what they call shadow work, therapy, or any practical mental or books, therapeutic books, to find the core reason of why this pattern is happening. Do you know that there are cultures that if you are a lawyer, you are a loser? Do you know that? See, that's another thing. It's about perception. See, in cultures, there's cultures where you're a doctor. It's like, yeah, you're a doctor. But there's like in the Jewish culture, there's a joke that goes, what do you call a doctor that's something something? It goes, a doctor. Saying that you can just be a mediocre doctor. But again, that falls into culture. Rihanna has Fendi. Rihanna has designed her own car. Rihanna has done a lot when she was with Homeboy, the Packy dude. But his mama said to Rihanna that she is practicing silly little hobbies. And depending on the perception and culture you come from, what Rihanna's doing is absolutely awesome. It's like, hey, she has Fendi. She has Savage Fenty. So she has a makeup line and she has a lingerie line. That's awesome. Underclothes line. But in their culture of wealth, that's silly little hobbies because they do something different with their education and they do something different with their wealth. It holds a different meaning and purpose on that side of the world. And so then again, this is a conversation. Hold on. Oh shit, y'all. This is a conversation. Once I got a text message. I think she might be at work though. All right, I'm gonna be a little bit more, a few more minutes on this topic here. What was I saying? I don't even remember, y'all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Culture and what we perceive to be success, right? But what's going on is, why would a woman who has achieved all that for herself, why would she turn around and be what y'all call a thug? Why would she turn around and be with somebody that she's taking care of? Why would she turn around and be with someone who y'all would classify as a loser or a bum? Why does she need that level of control in her life? Or is things up in her life that she can't go for something more than herself? But I have seen Black women go for either who shares the same uh, career as her, or who may be a part of another career, the military. I've seen it a lot with there are black women who have chosen successful partners along with them, and it's still the same dynamic. She's paying for everything, she's doing everything. That person's not completely faithful because it still falls down to the person who's experiencing the experience. We still can't take away the universal laws of attraction. That's not going to go nowhere. Whatever your spiritual belief is, there's the laws of attraction will stand as laws. The laws of vibration stand as laws. You understand what I'm saying? So in life is a mirror. And however you vibrate is what you're going to get back on the other side of yourself. That's a fact. So these women who are choosing, as y'all say, or who are attracting energetically, because that's what you are doing, attracting energetically what they're attracting. You have to start asking, what is going on within that woman that she's doing this? May I tell a quick story? Because I'm full of them. But that's what comes with wisdom. You have a lot of stories to tell. So I may have told this one before. I'm pretty transparent. But this falls into the example of everything here. I found myself in these situations where I refer to people as, that's my wife, right? And that's my partner, whatever the case may be that I would say. And so what happens is, I found myself one time with this one chick I was in, and the stuff that was going on with her, and how she was talking about going to LA. And I was telling her, girl, don't go to LA. You're going to be homeless in LA. And I started looking at her, and her art was beautiful, and this, that, and the third. And then I even had a dream about this person that was just like homeless in the streets. It was crazy. And then one day it hit me that something ain't right with this motherfucking person, because the bestie was like, yo, something ain't right with her. Like, she was like, did you see the story about her cat or something, something, something? I didn't even know she was following her. I said, nah, hold on, let me look. And so what happened is, um, it was something about a guy. Uh, I'm not gonna get into the details of it, but basically, this guy threw her cat, and it went on, and I started looking at this person, and I was like, okay, something's not right with this person. But let's get to the point. And I started noticing, um, why am I attracted to people who are in these sort of dire situations? Why I'm always attracting people who, I like them and they're creative and they're artists, but their lifestyle is in this homeless, disheveled situation. Speaking of that, one second. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. And as I don't know how much I heard, but basically this person I liked was pretty much not right. Homeless, stuff like that. And when I talked to my therapist about it, my therapist said, I began to express to her this person and this pattern, and she was like, that's a trauma bond. That's a trauma bond. I said, okay. When I talked to the bestie, what the bestie had explained was you attract people who have been thrown away because you feel you have been thrown away. And she began to express uh, the artist. She began to express the different things and all of this. And with age does and truly do come wisdom, right? But what was happening to myself was I was connecting something in myself or things from my past through the people that I was seeing. I had a bit of, I don't want to use the word arrested development, but there was something that was a hurdle in my life that kept replaying like a broken record, a broken record. And it was the story that I kept energetically telling myself. And because of the story I was meaning, when someone reminds me of said someone from some time in my life, that is how I respond to my relationship with that person without fully knowing them, but identifying them with said that person and or experience. You get me? So I had to start telling myself that, okay, this is not what the story is. I even had to go all the way into my own childhood and say, this is not what my story is. Not in a delusional way, not at all. I'm saying in a very honest, heart to heart way with myself. Like, no, 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 no. This is the true story of what my life is, what I have experienced, what I have gone through, what that was, what that person was, and what that person is. That's what I had to do. I had to get real with myself. And it was beautiful because there was no need for me to cry about it anymore. You know? She needs water. She needs water. There was no need to cry anymore about it. 1 second, everybody. 60 seconds. All right. And this is something I had to come to realization with myself. And when I came to this absolute realization within myself, or just my life and my pattern, I had a recognition of that life pattern and begin to move in life differently. And it all began when I decided this year. I had been decided years ago, but I end up going back because I'm going to get into that story in a second. When I was like, fuck online dating. I'm an artist, I'm a creative. You're not going to see your fucking any type of artist on a dating site. They just don't do it. You know, this they just don't fucking go on dating sites. Even if they're advertising, they're getting paid to advertise for that site. And if they were on there, you probably won't know who the fuck they are on there, or they ever have been, unless, you know what I'm saying, hope that you never figure it out that that was them type shit. That was years ago. I'm talking 5 years ago. But I ended up going back on because I got upset over what somebody said and I went back on. But energetically, I should have known right then that that's not a good thing in the way I went back on there, because I had really gave up. I like fuck online dating. Fuck that online dating shit. I'll find another way. And then this year now, I decided, I said, fuck it all together. I'm talking about online dating, online meeting people, all of that shit. Online shit is done. Hung it up. It's hung up. Boom. But that was only the beginning for me this year. That was only the beginning before everything else, begin to grow along with that beginning. Because I'm starting to see that I just don't meet great people. I just don't meet people that I like too much. Now, the people who I have vibe with for meeting here, we vibe off information. We don't talk all the time because we just have an informational relationship, and I'm okay with that. But as far as people in the world of friendship, that's a different world for me. Okay. Okay. That's a different world for me. That's funny. It's funny. I had saw some stuff on the show, The Different World, and it's just I'm just laughing at myself saying that. That's why I'm giggling. All right. Headphone users, 1 second. Actually, that sound is very therapeutic. Oh man, it's still early, y'all. It is still early. Oh, whoa. Come, Bella. I'll get you. I gotta give her some water. All right. All right. So you have these are my own personal experiences that I have. But what about the people who don't recognize their own personal experiences? What about people? Hold on, Bella. I just gave you water and you got food. There's no reason for that. I'm about to throw you out. Cut the mess. She knows when I'm on a call. She knows when I'm on the audio. Okay. I hope the meowing is not bothering you. Don't want to yell at my cat. I just need her to stop the mess. She's fine. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta give her a little box. 1 second. So imagine all of these people who who do not recognize this in their own life experience the way that I recognize it in my own life experience. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? What about the people? I forgot I had that card in there. Who have these hangups in relationships, but they just don't have it in them to recognize that it's even a hangup in relationship. That it's too late. That they gotta get set on fire. That they gotta get fucking thrown out of a window until their head pops. That it's too late. That by the time, you get what I'm saying here? So you have people that they're not even recognizing their own. There it is. That's a big one. I can't even get this motherfucker. Come on, come closer, baby, so I can kill you. Yeah, better run. I don't feel like fucking chasing down a water bug. Not with these shoes on. I'm trying to find my cat scooper. I get that water bug later. It's hibernating. I knew it was in the kitchen. Cause my what happened is, let me not do that. Let me just turn everything off and plug everything out. I have to pull out this washing machine. That's why this water bug is in here. It's coming to the water. Where the hell is my cat scooper? Oh no. Hold on, Bella. I know. Hold on, baby. It's a scooper. I thought it was in the room. So you have, going back to the topic. So you have all these people where this is their experiences. Okay? This is their constant experience. And they don't even know that this is their experience. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Hi there, Kenny. Great day. Good morning to you. Because everybody does not have that capacity to self-reflect. And so a lot of you are being like, well, what's up, Zero Cool? Well, why are these black women, excuse me, the headphone users, get my coffee machine together? Why are these black women? Why are they choosing? Why are they choosing wrong? Why do they keep choosing what they're choosing? Because it's obvious that there's something within them who they're choosing. That's another thing that nobody wants to accept too. Whatever they're choosing is a part of who they are. Bella, did you move the scooper? Because if you did, that's very silly of you. I'm trying to find my cat scooper, y'all, so I can clean up her litter box. But for some reason, that thing is nowhere in sight, and I always keep it right next to the litter box. Okay, I found it. It was in the corner. Okay? Peace and love. Definitely peace and love. So you have these women that have these type of experiences. Here's another key thing to mention, okay? Inside of what in the gist of what's being talked about here, right? You got to accept people for what they show you about themselves, okay? And you have to, I think some things are very simple to understand. A woman who's dating a male that's in prison is a woman who wants control. And if she expects this male that comes out of prison to take care of her, to have a job, how the hell did I do that? To have it all together and all these different things after he has come out of prison, that's a woman who has control issues and she really ain't that bright. Okay? That's another thing. We need to call it for what it is. She really ain't that bright. And she got control issues. Okay? And that's just what it is with these women that are dating these kind of males. Another thing we must look at, you know how I know that they have control issues or they got some kind of something with themselves? Because every time that male shows that he got love and family and shit like that, she gets very upset about that shit. And I mean, she's fighting with the family. She's having all these disagreements. You know why? Because she wants him, because her perception of him is that he's downtrodden and that nobody wants him and that he's thrown away, and she's there to save him and she's there to have him the way that she wants to have him. Why is that? Why would somebody even think something like that, y'all? Well, you just have to look at the person doing it. They need control at all costs. Any means necessary. They need control. That's what's going on. Make mothers great again. What you mean? They need control. Another to note. Can I get a master class? Let me see. Another thing to note in this. These women have some level of a low self-esteem as well. And we all see that. That one is obvious. A lot of these women have very low self-esteem. That one's obvious. A lot of these women, they are battling with something within themselves. Because some of them be having family themselves. And even if their family members will tell them, you're being stupid, they can't accept that they're being stupid. Right? Or even if somebody presents to them something that makes sense. Or some families, I see some families that just be like, oh, okay, just let it go by. And all of these different things. And all of these different things Understand, it's the same thing equivalent to a male who chooses women who are on drugs or got downtrodden situations. This is that womb, that savior complex thing that's going on here. And no one ever gets into this. Has been an hour? Damn. No one gets into this depth of conversation when it comes to these things. Why is that? Because people, silliness. It's easier to sit around and people be silly and roast people and really low key judge people and demean their lives and this type of shit. Okay, it. And so it turns into all of the. And see, here's the thing: it ain't about what a woman is and what a man is at this point. It really ain't. It's about laws of attraction and what you're attracting in your life. See, I remember a woman who she didn't really want to be married, but she got married. And so when she got married, I don't even know what the nuclear family is. I don't know what the fuck the nuclear family is. When she got married, that husband did nothing. He barely did anything. You know why? Because she really didn't want to be married. And so she attracted a partner who really did not give their best as a partner to her. And when she was ready to be married and she got her a new husband, a F to M husband, that's the best marriage of her life. Because why? She was ready to be married. Oh shit, please. That nuclear families are are the ones doing the kidnapping, raping, or the R wording, the molesting of the children and the incest. The nuclear family, whatever y'all call a nuclear family. And honestly, children are raised in a tribe. There's grandparents, there's aunties, there's uncles, then there's cousins, and there's older cousins. There's kids, there's family members. Sometimes aunties and uncles are the same age as the children. Like family is a tribe. It's not ever mom, dad, and children. It's always unless unless they have a very isolated life like that. Even then, the family is a tribe. Someone's helping keep the children. Someone is a neighborhood watch. Someone builds a safe neighborhood. If you live in one. I mean, I don't even understand why it's called the nuclear family. Like, it don't make sense. Family members die. Some of us are raised by our grandparents. And then you got some people raised by their aunts and uncles or their own family members or their siblings. What world do y'all live in? I really asked myself this. What world do y'all live in? Honestly, most people's families dynamic is not mom, dad, and brother and sister. You're actually like a very small percentage of people if that is your life. I know people who got two mothers, two fathers. I know people raised by their grandparents. That would be me. I know people raised by their own siblings. I know people who have been raised in a family of people they didn't even know, but that family took them in and raised them. There are people in foster care. What world do y'all live in? Sometimes it's a whole group of women that are helping each other raise their children together. It doesn't have nothing to do with sexuality. No, the nuclear family intentionally discouraged and destroyed itself with incest, with abuse, with religious abuse. Y'all, if you're gonna say that people did that, no, y'all did that. And what about all the children in foster care? And what about the nuclear family who takes in the children in foster care and abuses them? What about the sex trafficking that the nuclear family does? I've never heard of a same-sex family abuse children because of race. Don't leave the chat room now. I never heard a same-sex family ever sex traffic children, kidnap children. I've never heard not one news report about it. Not even two damn men together. But when you women and men together, y'all do the worst things to those children. Do you want me to get into these stories of 19 kids and counting, and how horrible it is in those houses with y'all, with all these a house full of over 8+ children, and what those children have to endure, those girls have to endure? Don't you get me started. Don't you dare say that it was intentionally destroyed and discouraged. The system of that hasn't been working because most of you men and women in y'all straight relationships, y'all can't even figure out how to give each other the correct orgasm. Are you kidding me? But you show me a report where any family of the same sex has did anything harmful to a child, had did anything of putting them in cages because of racism and all this type of shit. Come on now. Don't you dare say that they were destroyed and discouraged. They destroyed and discouraged themselves, and they still destroy and discourage themselves. So let's not do that. Most cults are a dynamic of what? Women, men, and children. Families are cults anyway. The dynamic of women, men, and children. What do you hear? All of this shit. The monkeypox homosexual couple got 100 years for assaulting their adopted children. Was it two males? Because I've never heard this story before. I've listened to a lot of stories, especially when it comes to abused children. Was it two males? Exactly. But you never hear a lesbian couple or two women together doing that shit. I promise you that. But I've never heard this story. And every time there's a disease, they always say it comes from homos and shit like that. But most people who got HIV, they don't got it from being homosexual. You can go check the stats on that. And there's a lot of people who are not homosexual that have HIV or AIDS. You can check the stats on that too. Those are not lesbians. They're still fucking men. Any two women who are in a relationship and they're abusing each other to that capacity, they're still fucking men. They're not lesbians. Lesbian couple, true lesbian relationships are not abusive at all whatsoever. Those lesbians that's beating on each other, they're still fucking men. That's why they're violent. Or they're in this is something, or a male is around them, something. Every relationship I've seen where lesbian couples are violent to each other, one of them are fucking men or fucking a male. Nah, you can do your research. I don't know nothing about Africa because I'm not African and I don't live there. Well, then, like I said, go look at the stats of the people who are not homosexual, which is a high rate, that have HIV. Actually, if you go to the doctor will tell you that we all have HIV. It's just about our viral loads. So sex can trigger that in general. And a lot of y'all love anal sex. A lot of heteros love to do anal sex. There are women out here giving their husbands and boyfriends anal sex because that's what they rather have. See, this is the thing that I've noticed about people online, a lot of y'all. I really believe a lot of y'all stay in the house and y'all don't go no further than that. Unless y'all got a job and y'all don't go no further than that. Y'all don't know life. I wish I would have recognized this years ago. I saw it, but now I really see it now. Y'all people don't know life. Y'all don't know life and y'all don't know people. I mean, yeah, there is a pill for, but see, that's the thing. That's for people who are homosexual, who are sex workers, to take the pill before they are more likely to contract HIV or AIDS or whatever. But most of those males are sex workers that who they sold that, what's it, some kind of blue pill for. It's a whole website. HIV ain't stopping people from fucking, whether gay or straight. That's the fucking point I'm making. Rubber or not. Do you know there's a world of people called bug chasers? Like they actually love the adventures of having sex with people with STDs. Y'all don't know this world. Y'all don't know life. And I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying y'all don't know life, bruh. Let me see if this person want to talk to me now. But I'm not yelling at you. I'm not. I'm speaking in general. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't know how to say it. Like, I feel indifferent. Like, I guess I feel indifferent because I've been in the streets, I've been around people for a long time, different kind of people. And I remember a time in my life where I became a hermit and I was like, oh, I can't stand being around people. And then I go back outside and I be around people and I'm like, I can't stand being around people. But one thing I could tell you is I did become aware of life and what people are. And people will be peopling. It just don't ever fit. Unfortunately, I don't know the karma. Let me give a trigger warning here because I'm speaking spiritually here. I don't know the karma of children who come into this world as foster care children. I have not got my chance to research that in a book, but I'm sure it's out there. But they get mistreated something awful in this world. Those foster care children, a lot of your celebrities are foster care children. IV drug use and anal sex as well as blood transfusion and childbirth, HIV transmission, vaginal intercourse has a very low transmission rate related to those causes. Of course. I don't necessarily believe HIV causes AIDS. If you don't treat your HIV, it will transcend into AIDS. But you can live very long with HIV. Yes, they are abusing them at a lucrative rate. I wonder, that's why I say there has to be some karma with coming into this life as a foster kid. There has to be some kind of karma. They have always been the most abused children in the world. They're the children of the system. That's what Orange is the New Black. She was a child of the system. She was in the foster care system. She ended up in the jail system. The people were mistreating them that they were staying with. Then she ended up in the system, back into the jail system, doing life in the prison, and she's a child of the system. And I've met people child of the system. And it starts with them being foster care or orphanage children. Most of them. They're incentives to abuse children and kids them to the next level family with money. Yeah. And we are starting and that's starting to unfold. And we're starting to see the ones putting the kids in cages and I am somebody. I like to see the truth. I don't know about everybody else. Everybody else be so bummed out and shit. No, I like to see the fucking truth because it confirms a lot of things to me about people's ways and actions and why they are the way that they are. It confirms to me why these celebrities who have come from foster care will never tell you, but they act the way that they do. It confirms to me why why people were so mistreated in the industry because they're foster care children. It confirms it to me. I was told this, and then one day I sat back as time went on. I said, "Oh shit, they are in a foster care system." You do have more opportunity out there for yourself when you look like you're a child that's alone out here. People will be very much more willing to give you modeling opportunities and acting opportunities. I'm speaking that from experience. They will they target you. Don't be beautiful in this world alone as a teen, as a child. They'll snatch you up, and this is how these things happen. That's why that young girl in Disney World that everybody talk about was so beautiful, and they had her in heels and inappropriate and stuff because that was a foster kid. That was a thrown away child. And I'm not saying that none of it is okay. I'm just saying that it is what it is. I'm just let me make that clear. But yeah, I mean the nuclear family, please. Oh, please with the nuclear family. And it's just everything is vibratory. You know, if a woman wants control in her life and she doesn't want to deal with an abusive male due to whatever her experience is, she's going to be in a relationship where she's with a male that she can control and he does not want to take any type of action or to control. And she dominates everything because that's her vibratory alignment. The same thing with the male who chooses to be with the woman on drugs and he wants to chase her down and he wants to try to save her and wants to make her the mother of his children and then all of that stuff. It's all vibratory. It don't have nothing to do. I know everybody wants to make everything about what a real man does this and a real woman does that. Well, these people attract what they attract because they're their vibratory alignments. I've been talking too long, but it's just that's all it is. Investors believe what they believe and they attract what they attract. They believe, a black man broke your heart, so you went to go eat some coochie. Okay, that's what they believe. That's okay. They're entitled to that. That don't make it true, but they're entitled to that. Because they're male identified women. They associate everything around the male. And they're very immature as well. I think the divested women are very immature. The same thing that they speak about is the same thing that they are. This is a very interesting thing. And another thing too, life is what you make it. Okay? Okay, life is what you make it. And a lot of people don't understand that reflection. A lot of people are walking around here in life and don't even know that they're creating all the troubles and all the problems that they're going through. There are people walking around in life and not even realizing or recognizing the patterns in their life, in their relationship. They're not even recognizing it. You got to understand this. You got to understand that you you have people that they can go out here and have one night stands and have sex, and that's it. Like, and they don't think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? They can get online and meet and fuck and just like they can live like that. And there are people that just like hell no. I can die. I don't know you. That consciousness of I don't fucking know you. What I'm not getting in bed with somebody I don't know, and I've never even seen the way that they keep their hygiene, and I don't know you. And then you have people that they can go out here and fucking have one night stands and do this stuff like that. Like, this is the world that we live in. And this is why I stress so much on V314 Bad Bitchcraft Radio. I stress vibrational alignment. I stress it so much because it's like I need y'all to understand, and I'm being for real. I need y'all to understand that it is your level of life. If you don't like what's being reflected to you, if you don't like what you're meeting and attracting, you have to start tweaking. You have to start going within. I'm going to help you out with that because I say that a lot. But let me just hear me out, okay? Give me 5 minutes. Why did I completely decide to hang up online dating? Significantly, even though I found a great dating site. I like that you can do a friend request. I like the conversations. I like that I'm attracting people like into myself. But why did I hang it up? Number one, that dating site has now said they're going to take away the friend list. And I said, well, how stupid is that? Why would you take away the friend list? This is what made your dating site so unique and so fun. Why are you taking it away? But the reason why is because I cannot deal with the social awkwardness. I cannot deal with the miscommunication and not understanding simple Simon shit. I cannot deal with having a conversation with somebody and saying, hey, let's exchange numbers. Hey, would you like to meet up as such and such since we're right here? And it's all of these excuses to why they can't get on the phone with you, get on video with you, or meet up with you after you've been talking to. I can't deal with it. And most of all, I can't deal with the lashing out and craziness and spitefulness and all of this shit that comes with online people and the trickery that comes with them. I cannot deal with it no more. I can't tolerate it. It's like these traumatized fucking children, traumatized adults, excuse me, running around on these online dating sites. And a lot of times these people have experienced major trauma. And even if they have a goddamn therapist, if they really do have one, they have a therapist that doesn't match with who they are. They need a better therapist. So their lives are in complete shambles. Or after you begin to learn or be friends with somebody online for a while, their life becomes complete shambles. But don't get me wrong, I have people in my well, no, actually, no, I didn't meet them online. Now that I think about it, their life becomes complete shambles every time versus people who I know on my personal world. And I used to wonder, is it because I met them online that there's more vulnerability, more openness, and that's why I know more about their life? Is it because of that? No, baby. It's online people. And this is my personal experience. So I hung up meeting people online. And I don't want to deal with the heartbreak. I don't want to deal with the heartbreak. That part too. It's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable and to say your feelings are hurt. It's okay to to to, to admit that things can hurt your feelings. It's okay. Another thing with that, getting back to it, I got tired of what was reflecting back to me. I got tired of myself, of having a standard of who I would date, what I would date, how I would date, this, that, and the third. And then I go the opposite every time because I'll be like, oh, we have a connection. I got tired of doing that shit. I can admit that in the mirror because I didn't know why I was doing that shit. I got tired of meeting people who were still holding on to people who still had people from their past on their goddamn social media. They was like, I don't understand why people erase stuff. I keep all my stuff up. And I'm just like, most artists don't do that, but okay. Holding on to what was messages from their past that they still have. Okay, all of this stuff. I mean, it's too much. Too much attachments, tattoos, all kind of shit. Too much attachment. And I got tired of that. So how did I begin to fix this in my personal life? I had to watch my attachments. What am I holding on to? What is playing as a broken record in my head in my life? What am I missing? And I had to go into a deep meditation within myself to find that answer because I was ready to receive that answer. And I got inside and I got that answer. Okay. I got that answer. Another thing, understand too, going back to why I'm telling you this example, therapy helped me tremendously, but I also still help myself by also picking up very practical therapy books. I will not lie to you. I utilize the fuck out of ChatGTP. I have been using ChatGTP for years now. So my ChatGTP is very programmed, like a person that talks to me. So believe it or not, I actually can use ChatGTP as my therapist, as my personal uh, intuitive reader, everything. And that sounds strange, but my chat GTP is lit. And a lot of people, when they ask me questions about dreams and shit, And I put it up in my chat GTP. Trust and believe me when I tell you, it be on point for them. I don't even read it. I just copy and paste it to them. This is what it said, and let them read it for themselves. Okay? I want to make something clear to all of you. All right? Life is better meeting people where you are. Life is better going outside and letting the people as yourself come to you. Life is better enjoying your life, doing the things you love, and that person or those people come to you. But even that can be tricky. You have to still pay attention to how you're interacting. I'll give another example. One time I met somebody who was the catalyst of me doing a lot of things that I'm doing now. And what happened is it turned into a situation where, yes, I was there playing D&D and Magic the Gathering, and they were in the corner sketching. So they were in the corner sketching and whatever else they were doing when they could have did that somewhere else. Okay? So there was no reason for me to even communicate with this person in that setting. I should have only been communicating with everybody else who was playing Magic the Gathering and people who had a goddamn deck. That's who I should have been communicating with. Okay? But why does these things happen? Okay? Why did that manifest? Because I won't say it here, but I had to start doing the work, the shadow work of whose love have I been seeking, and who is the opposite of who I am, or who has always thrown me away that I keep trying to get their love. And that was the very thing that was the awakening for me to why I said, nope, no more online dating. Nope, I will sit here and I will do this by myself. I will accomplish this. I will manifest this. I will only look at people like this. And I will only entertain things like this. And I paused for a minute. I was thinking. And that was the beginning of things lifting off for me in my life. I had to look at why I had the relationships and the friendships and the people. Why I wasn't ready to even write it down, but now I'm ready to sit down and write it down to understand how it all happened. You do these things, you do this kind of work, this internal work, because what is happening, guys, is that what if you are sitting here right now and you are aiming to accomplish something in your life, it could be this very thing that is the hang up that you need to release in order to get to that thing over there that you've been striving for that seems like a long journey. See, what is going on with people online is this. Okay? This is my analysis of it. You have these people, that is a nice jacket. You have these people who they are sitting down and they are they got so much to say about celebrities. I mean, people who don't give a damn and don't know they exist, people who are in the world of creativity, sexual fluidity, a world of just understanding and loving art, and they pick the worst of the worst in their lives to dissect, to pull apart, to tear apart. They pick the worst shit that they can find. All of these artists out here, okay, because I don't like to use the word celebrity, but all of it, because I'm an artist. That's why I use the word artist. All of these artists out here who are doing amazing things. Their resume is impeccable, admirable, and they are not talking about them. But do you ever notice that these people always like the celebrities who leave the life, who have nothing anymore, who hung it all up so much that they're struggling and they're asking everybody to support them because they got out of the Hollywood and all this shit? Do you know what's going on there? Jealousy and envy is going on there. These people wish they had the capacity to have the life of the celebrity. These people wish they had the capacity to have the life of an artist. You know how I know this? Because the way they host their show with the music and their panels is no different than when I would listen to the radio in the 90s or now. It's no different than when I would sit down, pretty much what I just said, listen to a radio show or something. Or listen, look at a local show where everybody was on the panel discussing something. It's no different. That's what these people desire. That's what these people truly want in their lives. And see, when you can be honest about that, you can obtain the very, once you're honest with yourself about what it is that you want for your life, you will start taking the actions and living your life in a way so you can obtain those things. You're not going to get it lying to yourself. Okay? You're just not. You're not going to get it sitting down denying that that is exactly what it is that you want. You're not going to get it. Okay? You're not going to get it if you sit here and hey, I would like to be in the industry. If you know you like to be in the industry, you'll go read books about the industry. You go study people. You'll actually go to a website, which I was supposed to just do now. You will actually go to a website and you will go where there are actual people who have accomplished these things, the people you have seen on TV or whatever all your life, and go listen to their master class to try to accomplish it. Being in the industry does not have anything to do with uh how do I say it? Being in the industry doesn't have anything to do with how do I say this? Um so much of fame, okay? Being in the industry doesn't have anything, you can just have access to damn, I lost my fucking shit. You can just have access to going to certain events and places, or being able to go to the panel discussions of these certain people who, whatever the industry that you are, just say you try to be a fashion designer. Well, you have to first of all design your clothes, you have to sketch your clothes, You have to learn the principles of fashion. You have to bring the fashion designing into your home. You have to know what direction you want to go with your fashion designing. All type of steps that you're going to have to take. And you can get yourself in the industry. You can get yourself in the industry if your clothes is in Walmart. You can get yourself in the industry if your clothes is in Kmart. But if you're looking to do your clothes a certain type of way, you can get yourself in the industry if you can get your shit in Abercrombie and Fitch. Okay? So you have all of these different things in whichever way you want to have an avenue for what it is that you do. There's a designer that his clothes is sitting in Family Dollar right now. A lot of these nice clothes that you see in Family Dollar, that's a black designer that has done that. Okay. But it's something, right? But there's some people that, okay, you want to go much higher than that. I'm sure you do. But the point is, you begin to live the life, the lifestyle, and associate the people in the lifestyle. You begin to line your life up with it. I'm going to tell you the truth about living your life a certain way. You're not accessible. It's not easy for people to come on your panel. It's not easy for people to talk to you. It's not easy for people to contact you on a telephone or anything. You're not accessible. That is how it works. Another thing I want you all to know, okay? I I want you all to know that I think that you all are understand that it is okay for whatever it is that you want as long as you understand why you want it. I need you to understand too. There are some things that you're doing that the life that you're living and the lifestyle that you're living, there's no way for you not to have some type of attention or fame. Okay, it's just no way. Some of you have to understand that you are the kind of person that you can publish your first book, and boom, the results of it will probably be what you did not expect. You'll probably have people trying to call you on their panels and talk to you and all kind of shit, and it wasn't what you expected. There are some of you, y'all can write one song and put it out there into the world, and that one song hits, and it's like, damn, it's doing more than what I expected. You can collab with people that you thought you never could once you take the step. You have to understand that society, you want to talk about dismantle and discourages. Society dismantles, destroys, and discourages success. Okay? Destroyed and discouraged success. Or anything that has to deal with accomplishments, especially when it comes to anything that puts you in the industry. Whatever the industry, fashion industry, music industry, interior design industry, whatever fucking industry. Hold on, y'all. Damn it, man. I'm kind of pissed. I'm kind of pissed because I'm trying to pay for this master class, and the master class that I'm trying to do, I hope that it works. I don't have that number anymore. No, just go back. Hold on, go back. 1 second, y'all. It was 10, but it went up because I guess I didn't get. I guess because that was a new sign in. That's why that one was 10. Um. Oh yeah, my verification code. I was like, what is this? Oh, it's for the what? Do I still have that number? No fucking way. Do I still have that number? Okay, hold on, y'all. Let's see if it works. Yeah. No, no, bitch. I just realized how much this bill was. No, bitch. They trying to take all my money. Uh-uh. Hell no. I just can't get offline viewing. Okay, $10 is offline, no offline mode. Who gives a fuck about offline? Like, oh, I can't view. Oh, does that mean I can't watch it? What? What does that mean if I can't watch it offline? You get what I'm saying? Let me see something. No, they charging too much. Girl, so I gotta buy the classes individually then. Hold on. Okay. Well, then I'm just gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to just buy the master class individually because I'm not doing the full thing. I did that already, and I watched so much stuff, but I barely even. I kind of just watch the same thing all the time. I think I even watch Walter Mosley. Um, what the fuck? Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's so much. Why is this master class looking different than my other one? Why is not telling me to browse or nothing like that? I'm on the home page. Oh gosh, this navigation is retarded. I don't like this. I like the new navigation. I feel like I need to go back to that one. Who are these people? I'm just so confused right now, y'all. All right, let me get back to this topic. But I pretty much did my 5 minutes. Okay, your exclusive guest pass is available to send with experience. What are you hoping to learn from this writing course? Girl, hold on. Let me see. What's my guest pass? Oh, I get to invite somebody. Oh, I can get the okay. I can invite people because I've been on this site for a long time. That's why I came back. Okay. Skin health, business rebels, your anxiety toolkit, the art of sex appeal. Shan Boodram, girl, please. I feel like you don't even believe half of what you be talking about. Your energy's so different. By best relentless. Okay, that looks good. The power of mindset with leading experts. Mindy Kaling. Sports, the magic of menopause. Okay. Right. Designing a home that tells your story. I think I peeped her. Ooh, okay, now it's okay. Okay. Skin health. That's a new one, y'all. Right? With real facts, skip the trends, and get science backed advice from top skin doctors. Oh, it's a series. Moisturizing sunscreen. Oh, it's a whole fucking series, y'all. Maybe I get some kind of perk.
The skin is an absolutely incredible organ. And I think we under recognize how important it is and how much work it's doing for our bodies. Skin is one of the most critical components of our immune system. It literally creates a barrier between us and the environment. Our skin is under attack every single day.
I hope this is not
It is
copyright.
the first defense against illnesses, the first defense against toxins.
It's that damn beat. Did y'all hear that music in the background? That's that typical doom, 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 doom. Okay. Food. I'm drifting away, y'all. Hold on a second. Gordon Ramsay, Dominique Crenn. Yeah, I do need to start cooking again. I do kind of miss being in the kitchen. I'm not gonna hold you. Wine appreciation. Definitely have to do wine appreciation. Okay, that's food. The food one looks really good. Arts and entertainment. Ava is here. Film from artist JR. Okay, whatever. Amy Paula, prepare to be unprepared. Thank you. GOAT, the greatest of all time. Okay, I this is a very big update. Draw and paint realist portraits. No. Capture your vision through photography. Okay. Mash up fashion and music. What's this? Okay, they done masterclass and stepped it up now.
I want to talk to you about beginning your playlist. What does that mean? Um, a maniac like me will sort of compose this fictional story in his head.
I don't
The
think this is
playlist
copyright.
is
This is on
highly
masterclass
important,
YouTube.
and that's where
I don't know if I got a
I
special or nothing.
treat it like a playwright treats his story structure. If you look at the stories of our time, you'll see that there's
Okay, these are
the
sample.
beginning, the establishing action, and that takes it up to the rising action, and then it takes you to your climax, and then it takes you to your falling action, and then your last part is your ending. My first 5 records, I have to also be my own opening DJ. Any other DJ will instantly come out the gate. Song of the moment. Whatever the song of the moment is, I'm going to do that. The problem is when people fall for that trick and they do the song of the moment, it's pretty much downhill from there. There's a difference between being effective and being good. There's music that I think is excellent, that I know if I spin this for this particular crowd, it's not going to work.
Okay.
There are songs that I'm indifferent about. Does nothing for me. But I know if I spin this song, it's on.
Okay, this is
There's so many designers, not all of them are going to make it. And
this is in Anna Wintour. This is the queen. This is the goddess of fashion design.
maybe you can be equally
She's the one who runs the Met Gala.
satisfied, equally happy working. There's so many designers, not all of them are going to make it. And maybe you can be equally satisfied, equally happy working for somebody else or for a big company or learning a different route. That having your own company isn't always a path to success. And I think particularly for all of you working in the world that we live in today, it is very seductive to be carried away by the fact that you can become a celebrity because you're hanging out with famous people or you have a big Instagram following, whatever it may be. And in fact, it can sometimes, I believe, be a pitfall. You need a solid business plan. You need the 5-year plan. You need someone within your company that can be looking at what you're doing in terms of running that business. And it's very, very unusual for a creative talent to also be a business person. So find that person that can help support your vision, that understands and loves your vision, but that can also help you run a business.
Yes. So she's saying it's okay that you want to live that life, because some people, like I said, some people, you may just be like, yo, I like what I do, but I also like the fame, I also like the glamorous life that comes with it. That's fine too. That's you manifesting what you want to manifest. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just here to tell you, don't let other people in this society try to tell you something's wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's some people, they'll do one album, they'll write up that one album, collab music with everybody else, and you just know they got that one album or that one song, but they do all these collabs and they great, and they work. There are people who are great as collab workers, working with other artists, and you're just like, oh shit, that person's on a song, that person's on a song, and you want to listen to the song because that person is right there and they're on everybody else's shit. That's how you do it. Okay, let me see something. This is what this is the best of her. Okay, they're doing a mashup, so you can
There's
just,
so many designers.
because with the mashup, it's making you want to watch the whole entire class.
When you're young, you don't always know what you want to do. So it's so helpful to always try many, many different things, whether it's working as an assistant, working for a designer, working for a fashion site, whatever it may be. Try different things, because it's almost more important to find out what you don't like rather than what you do like. I was so lucky in having that kind of universal background. And that would be my strong advice to anybody starting out in this world, is don't lock yourself into one path. And you will pick up so much along the way. I'm always extremely, extremely wary of young people coming straight out of college or coming straight out of design school who want to start their own businesses. I mean, I know we hear all these stories about people having a brilliant idea and creating Facebook. It doesn't always work like that. The people that succeed following that direction are very few, and the people that fall are very many.
Mm-hmm. All right, we ain't gotta hear no more.
When you're young, designers.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, I'm putting it together now. I see what's going on here. Now that's arts and entertainment. Okay, I see what masterclass is doing here. Because we have Issa Rae here. Who is Tyler Mission? Storytelling through portrait photography. I don't know who you are, sir. You look very androgynous too. Hold on. This is Issa Rae. Okay. I'm not really intrigued by Issa Rae, but
it's also important to make.
Anna, what do you want? Let me see. Not her having a fucking disclaimer about profanity.
No, shawty, it's my birthday, but no one cares because I'm not having a party because I'm feeling sorry for myself. This is the character version of me, Issa D. Fun-loving, self-deprecating, and sometimes hella messy. But I want to introduce you to the real me, Issa Rae, an Emmy-nominated actress, a comedian, writer, entrepreneur, and a professional turn-upper. Throughout my time in the industry so far, I've been able to gain experience on multiple sides of the table. As an actor, producer, and writer,
Okay, this
as
is
someone
not
who's pitched
copyright. This
shows to
is on
networks,
Masterclasses,
and as
the
someone who's
trailer.
had shows pitched to.
Yeah.
I learned how to build an audience,
Yeah,
wear multiple
because
hats, and trust my own vision.
yeah, this
I
is
learned
not.
that I didn't have to
Is,
wait for
is
permission
somebody?
or the perfect opportunity.
Oh, maybe I should just
That's
go ahead
what
and.
this masterclass is all about. It's all about getting out of your own way, using the resources you have in front of you, and no longer accepting
Yeah,
no as
because
an answer.
let me skip because this is I don't want to be copyrighted.
Why are you naked? And it was epiphanous for me because it made me realize that I could have a direct audience via these two platforms, YouTube and Facebook. Being able to click a button and people could watch it and people could comment on it and they could give you whatever feedback they had. And that was just really good fun. My journey to be able to transition, structuring a pilot, and tapping into the resources around you. There is no one who sees the world like you do. There is no one.
Finding your voice and inspiration, developing your story and secure pilot, blueprint, character, and the way, the why. Okay, so a lot of times in the master class, what they do is, and I'm not sponsored to do this, but I will talk about this because I do like master class. It does. You are in a classroom, okay? You will get bored. You will probably even feel like you want to fall asleep, but that's awesome. When you do master class, they actually give you work. They actually pass you papers. They show you their character sheets. Like Shonda Rhimes, she gave the character Bible and stuff like that. Yeah. Another thing about me, I can listen to people, but then I can go back and study and watch the very thing that they're talking about. Okay.
In the next couple of lessons, I'm going to give you the blueprint I use to create my own pilots using 4 categories: character setup, why today, conflict, and setting up your series. A pilot is the official access to your show. You are setting up your world, you're setting up your characters. It's basically the first episode of your series. It is the first episode of your series.
It pretty much is the first episode of the series.
The guidebook for the first season and the entire show.
I'm going to turn this down a little bit so you can't hear it all the way.
The most challenging thing is to make your character active. Sometimes while writing, it's an instinct to kind of make things happen to our character.
Right.
And you have to think about how your character is actively making decisions.
Right. So that's like, it's interesting because that's what I love about storytelling. I love it. And I love about writing, and I'm so passionate about it because building a character and building character is it's we're all that character on the stage is us. It doesn't matter. We're always building our character. We're always building ourselves. We're supposed to be elevating ourselves. Supposed to be being who we are. Life is not free. Life is not you. If you need to, if you can't be who you truly want to be, I just, I mean, when like I feel like for me, for myself, I knew that there were things that had to be like it was just like, yo, I'm sick of this. I'm tired of I'm exhausted with this kind of reflection that I constantly kept getting through people. I was just like, I don't get this. This is not making sense. And then I had to tie it all together like, wow, these are people online. And I had someone text me one time and say, like, I was laughing because you've met some fucked up people online. But I wasn't laughing, like I really wasn't. Because I've also met some very disgusting people online. You know what I'm saying? Or known disgusting people from online. And it's just like I had to measure it like the universe brought back people in my life that I met face to face. Okay? The universe brought people in my life that I met face to face, made me watch them, made me look at them, made me observe their life. Okay? Not observe their life like that, but look at their level of success right now. And also, I saw how much they did not live a life of being online. And I was like, this is a fucking problem. This is a problem. And when I started to come to that realization that this is a problem, that was the beginning of my awakening. My realization of, I thought it was safe. I thought it was supposed to be for social media. But then it turned into uh how do I say it? Then it turned into uh just bullshit. And why did it turn into bullshit? Because social media became this dumping ground for people's biggest hate and anger and feelings that they could not express to people's faces. That's what social media was. It was a place of weakness. Okay. That's what the problem is with social media. And I thought otherwise because I was young. I didn't realize the level of envy and jealousy. I didn't realize my own wounds that were being reflected back to me more. The harassing that was going on. All of these different type of things that people were doing. The narcissism, the psychopaths, all of this stuff were lingering online. I felt those psychopaths and narcissists was out there in the streets, in the crazy places. No, 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 no. They all gathered up right here on social media. And I had to learn that the hard way. And I had to look upon my own life. I had to observe my own life. Okay? I had to observe
Baby Crockett.
my own energy. All right? But here's the number one thing that I will say. We're going to go back into vibratory alignment. There are spaces and algorithms for you to focus your stuff on. When I got tired of looking at Trump, I went to my other account and I was over there chilling. No Trump stuff comes on that account. The moment I went looking for another something else just to see if someone posted, I went back to that account just to go see. Back on Trump stuff right there, and it just kept on scrolling down. tight with my algorithm. Tight with my algorithm. And then not only tight with the algorithm, it also entails how do I say it? Being focused and concentrated on what I need to be focused and concentrated on. I was talking to my brother about it. I was like, yeah, I have an account. Like I have accounts that focus on certain type of topics and just keep my algorithm tight so I don't have to fucking look at Trump and everybody else shit. Not just him, but everybody else shit that follow with it. And I already give y'all plenty of shows on how to tighten your algorithm. I have different accounts on my computers that I log into. I have a gamer account. Okay. I have what's the name account? I have a music account. I have even student account where I just sit down and just go to school all day. And I have another account. That's my basic account. That's the fourth account. These are the accounts that I have on my computer. Another thing to note is that I was thinking about how you just have to. Okay, let's just get into something. I know this is going to be a random thing that I'm going to say, but nothing's ever random. You have to ask yourself why you are engaging in certain contexts. Okay. You have to really ask yourself that. I don't mind listening to the channels that I listen to because I like to be in the know of the politics and what's going on out there. And I like to also see if some things are going to confirm. I'm to the point I don't need to even look at confirmation. It is what it is. But I like to still be in the know of what's going on, especially if stuff is getting cut and stuff like that. So I won't look a fool when I'm out here doing shit. Also, some stuff is fucking funny. So I like to get a good kiki out of it. All right. Then there is the aspect of other things that come up that usually don't come up on the algorithm that becomes very interesting because of that channel that I can bring over to my other channel. Like, oh, okay. I can the C is missing in unconscious. They spelled unconscious all kind of wrong. And that's very key to me. Okay. Um you have to keep the algorithm tight. So you have to watch who are you watching and why are you watching them. If you're watching She-Ra 7, are you going there to get a good laugh or are you really going there to get something informational to help you? Is it really helping you? Is it really serving you? Is it benefiting you? When you decide to go listen to me and you decide to listen to my series on the Black Woman's Guide, is it really helping you? Is it really serving you? Am I saying something that is purposeful, that is serving you, that is helping you? When I get on this microphone, that is my intention every time. I need to make sure that whatever I'm talking about has purpose, has meaning, has depth, has an understanding, has a simple understanding, has a life lesson in it, has something that you can pick up and take with you, like a book that you can just open sometime and say, hey, okay. Or something you could just turn on and be like, oh yeah, I've watched this before, but I want to listen to this again. I like to be that person. I'm not here to save. I don't have a hero complex. That's not it. I believe the microphone is about a purpose. I believe that getting on that microphone serves as, what is anyone going to get from me today? Because there's too much hoopla out there, foolishness. Because if you listen to these people, the divested people and all of that, I think they're all comical. To me, they're all comical. I don't really find anything serious about divestors. Okay? I don't find anything serious about divestors at all. I don't find anything about divestors that uh how do I say it? That's beneficial to me. Like, it's funny. Some of the stuff is funny. They said that Sinners was a vampire slave movie. That tickled me. That shit tickled me to the end. I said, "Oh shit, that's fucking funny. That's hilarious." And that's not what the show is though. But that comment is fucking. I gotta give it to him. But Sinners is not a vampire slave movie. I get intrigued and interested by the fact that they find the worst shit that they can find to fucking say in the most horrible way that they can say it. Like, they take anything. I mean, they take anything and they say the worst that they can say about it. The worst. Um, people, listen to me. If anybody never told you, I'm the one to tell you. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish in your life, you go ahead out there and accomplish it. Please note that successful people read, they're constantly studying, and they're constantly teaching themselves something. Okay? My neighbor is texting me. Hold on. You want me to see something? Hold on, y'all. My neighbor. Damn, it done took me to the messages. Okay, good. Okay, wrong. Just a couple more. I don't got time to read nothing. They do a lot of studying and practicing, and you understand what I'm saying? They do a lot of sitting down with their self and meditation. They're very spiritual people. Most successful people. And in order to obtain success or have a successful life, you have to develop a successful mind. Okay? You have to develop a successful mind. That is the ultimate key. But here is the thing, it requires a lot of internal work. You can go through imposter syndrome. You can go through, I'm over imposter syndrome. I used to really have that, but I've gotten over imposter syndrome. You can go over, you can jeez, she must be giving out gifts or something. Okay. I know I'm gonna get me a perfume and some skincare stuff. Oh shit, I need to not be spending my damn money. So another thing that is very key, everybody, with developing a successful mindset and getting out of things like imposter syndrome or not feeling like you are worthy of it and all this kind of thing. You got hangups that you have to also clear out. You got to clear out those hangups, okay? You hear me? You got to clear up those hangups, okay? You got to clear out this mind, this ideology of you not being worthy of it. And you have to check your jealousy and your envy of other people. If you have somebody that you're finding yourself to be jealous and envious of, you need to check that. I got an example. It's so funny because I'm looking at this woman, Issa Rae. I knew of a woman who, another person, I actually, online, okay. I actually met one person through her. Like she was there when I met the person and shit like that. But and then me and her being more acquainted somehow. But don't get me wrong, she was an excellent film writer. She actually helped me with uh my storytelling and organization and stuff. I learned a lot from this woman. I have to give it to her, okay? And what happened is, um, she just didn't have a good encounter with Issa Rae. Okay, I don't like to say names, but she didn't have a good first impression with her. Okay, and so she was crashing out on Issa, right? And the thing is, if you notice, Issa is a very successful creator. She has, just pay attention to what I'm telling you. She has started her focus and career on YouTube. I used to watch her Adventures of an Awkward Black Girl. Yeah. And her Adventures of a Awkward Black Girl has branched off into the show Insecure. Remember, she expressed she did not like the name of that show because she didn't like the word or whatever have you. But hey, it is what it is. And so she had a problem with Issa Rae. She had everything to say about how skinny she got and her face and like everything. But let's get back to Issa Rae. She accomplished her stuff through YouTube. I think she took herself to film school. This person I'm talking about, she also took herself to film school. She went to an excellent film school too. It might have went to the, I don't think the same because Issa lived in New York City, right? So this person went to school in LA. And so the thing is, she had such a problem with Issa, but we see how successful Issa is. So what was the problem? The problem was jealousy and envy because Issa was at the level of a career as a screenwriter that she wished that she was at. But here's another thing that also was interesting about this person. I looked at their life choices. See, because this plays a major motherfucking role. And I'm going to say that again, a major motherfucking role in how your life goes. Okay? And how life will manifest and roll out for you as you take your path. I was always the one on some screenwriting shit, but every time I turned around, she was in the most ridiculous of relationships. Every time I turned around, she was just doing something ridiculous in a relationship with somebody who had no interest in her. Now, don't get me wrong, this was a reflection of myself, not to that capacity, but it was a reflection of myself. This person, even when they had opportunity to do work and get paid, they will open some screenwriter's book and demand that they get paid more. And it's like, well, why don't you take the pay that this person can give you, work on the project? They even moved to the Black Hollywood, which was Atlanta, because that plays a part too. Where you live at does play a part in your success as well. Me living here where I'm at gives me the open. Hold on. Here in the Carolinas gives me the open space to do more writing, more sketching, more art, and put myself out there in spaces that's necessary to put myself out there as I teach myself. That's what being here does for me. But I do have the door open that I can still always go back to the city and motherfucking do shit and up there if I want to. But for what? I'm right here. The opportunity is here. So she lived in Atlanta. I mean shit, I'm 6 hours away from Atlanta. See? And so this is where she had these opportunities, paid opportunities, but she continued to do dumb shit. And I was just like, damn, I want to write for these people. I want to get paid. I don't I'm a novelist writer, but I can learn skins. I can learn screenwriting, I'm sure. Like it's not like I haven't done screenwriting or scripting before, at least scripting. Like I wanted to jump on all of these opportunities that she was throwing away. Do you think somebody as Issa Rae was throwing away opportunities like that in her life? I guaranteed you she wasn't. So this person, the last time I saw them, you think I seen anything about screenwriting? You think that I seen anything about uh anything that said no, it was she's a Hebrew Israelite now. She is a Hebrew Israelite now. And I said, well, I guess all that's over now. Now, why am I telling you this story? Check your jealousy and your envy. If you have people or someone that you're finding yourself to be jealous and envious of, you need to be checking that. If you're finding yourself to be in a space where you have a problem with said person and you're following them, and if you don't even block them, okay, if you don't block them but you're following them and you're doing all this and that, you need to check that for yourself. Okay, you need to check. Why does it look like I'm in the full classroom with Issa Rae? Am I in the full classroom? Did I pay for this shit? I hope I did not accidentally pay for this shit. Okay. Maybe I've already watched it. Maybe I've already, who knows? Maybe I got a deal. Because I went into my writer's account. I actually found it with the password because I had this computer for a little while. So I'm like, okay, I'm in my other account. My other account, I had to use another name. But now I know what the password and stuff is. But anyway, let me get to the point. If you're finding yourself not blocking them, there's a problem. And there's something you need to look at and what this person is reflecting back to you that you are having a problem with. And guaranteed you're going to find it has a lot to do with yourself. If you are meeting people who are half-ass in what they say that they do, that means that you are half-ass at what you say that you do. You have to be 100% in to whatever it is that you say that you do or that you're into. You have to be 100% all the way and live all the way what you are. And you will meet people the same exact thing as you. If you are not there yet, you need to hone into your life to live and be that so that you will go outside or walk in your algorithm on, which is you, and you will meet that wherever, no matter where you go. And I'm talking about to the level of I meet somebody who works directly with Issa Rae. They're at her writer's table. They work in her administrative department. You see, even though that would, because I've done administrative work, that's why I said that. They direct or something. I'm just using her because she right here. But you have to be it. But if you're meeting people half-ass, that means you're half-ass. And that's what I want you to understand. I sit here and there are people who are on I'm not on that app, but I've heard clips of this app. of the what's that, the clubhouse, right? And there are people on the clubhouse, and what is happening is there are some celebrities on there, and there are people picking fights and arguments with them. Just they just get on there to fight them. And I just sit back and I just go, OMG. OMG. Why? And then the question be, why is that celebrity even on, or this music artist even on a fucking platform as the clubhouse? Obvious this person must not be working, or something's going on in their life. Anybody ever notice how people fall apart when they go on TV, like Love and Hip Hop? You ever see how poison people's lives become? How this fucked up people's lives become when they get on that goddamn show, Love and Hip Hop? Anyone ever notice that? I mean, I've noticed that the people's children don't even has as much of a fucking curse upon them than the adults in the relationship. Okay? Another thing, here's another thing to also note. You want to live your life where you are only negotiating, talking to people who are professionals, experts, and scholars at what they are. That's what masterclass is about. You are communicating, you are in a classroom with experts, scholars, and people who are doing what they say that they do. Okay? You don't want to be where someone is trying to get there like you. I mean, I'm being so for real. These things can be distractive. It's equivalent to somebody trying to get a record deal and have a manager while they are in prison. It's equivalent to that. And that is not the life that you want to live. You don't want to be foolish like that. You don't want to be desperate. You don't you I understand that you may think you're manifesting, but no, we're manifesting what you need to elevate or what you need to get together. I don't want to meet other people who are just writers. I need to meet people who have scripts, who have things that are complete, who have books that are published. And when they have books that are published, I don't want to hear about them complaining about their publisher. I don't want to hear it. I need people around me who are established in a way that it's together, like it's all together, right? I need people who you want people who are there So therefore, those are the people that you listen to. Those are the people that you refer to. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm sticking to master class because of the professionalism that is there, the scholarship that is there. Shit, Skillshare has a lot of scholars on there too. Like not as much as Masterclass, but Skillshare has a lot of scholars as well. Okay. Here's another thing that I think is is crazy. You have these people who got so much to say. Everybody has so much to say, right? That's a Bob Marley song. You have people that have so much to say, and you have people who they don't even live the lifestyle that they are critiquing. They are not artists. They are not creators. They're not even writers. Okay, they don't even sometimes you find out they have music or something that flopped. I want you to understand something about coming over here talking or listening to someone like me, right? I don't need to say that, but I will say this. People who live a lifestyle eat, sleep, and breathe that lifestyle. I don't give a damn if they work a 9 to 5. They eat, sleep, and breathe that lifestyle. We are instructed to not quit our day jobs, okay? As writers, all right? Don't quit your day job. There are a lot of writers, especially in the romance genre. These women are doctors, real estate agents, successful real estate agents, surgeons. These women are in highly successful careers in their lives, are doing jobs that they actually enjoy doing. That's another thing that's key. They actually are working jobs that they like, as well as doing what they like. And that is okay to live that way. Okay. And so, therefore, there is a level of focus and drive that you have that other people may not have. You can go to sleep for 4 hours, get up, do 2 hours of work, take a nap, get up, take a shower, get ready for work. While other people, if you express that to them, they will never understand how do you sleep between 2 and 4 hours and sleep. How do you sleep between 2 and 4 hours of sleep and do 2 more hours of overtime at work when you work second shift and you're able to accomplish this and complete the work that you do? Your algorithm or hypnotic rhythm that you develop will not be understood by many because you are manifesting that. You know why? Because you're spending time with the scholars that have been doing it for years. You're spending time with the people who are telling you this is my formula of success. And so, therefore, vibrationally, you're picking up this person's energy. Ooh, don't pick up my energy now. You're picking up this person's energy and you're operating from it. When you are sitting down and you're watching, said a master class, or you're watching a YouTube, or you're studying the formula of whatever it may be, it could be interior designer, you're studying their formula, you're watching, you're going back 10 years later of what they did to now. I like to watch people in the now. Unless I'm going deep into my studies, it'll bring me down to something 10 years, 14 years later. And a lot of times I can see that they were doing the same formula that many years ago. Or there's a formula or something they said once before, and they have a different mindset of how they see it and they do things different. And I have seen that as well. But a lot of times they develop the same formula and they keep it. Your mentality feels you are spending time with that interior designer. In your mind, I am sitting here with this person, and this person is sitting here with me, and energetically, we are sharing this space. And I'm sitting down in this room that I see in this chair, and I am in their classroom. Issa Rae came to Brooklyn. One time I had a time where I kept feeling like I wanted to go to Brooklyn. And I remember I was telling the screenwriter writer lady, I was like, I want to go to Brooklyn. She said, something's calling you to go to Brooklyn. You should go to Brooklyn. And I didn't have to go to work that day. And guess who was in Brooklyn? Issa Rae. She had an event. And I did not go to it. I didn't go. But she was here. I was like, oh shit, Issa Rae's here. She's in Brooklyn right now. Right now, she's in Brooklyn. Okay? I need you to understand that you are a quantum leaper when you have a mind of success. Okay? You know, hey, when I'm watching Anna Wintour talk about fashion design, I am in that space with Anna Wintour sitting down. I see her outfit, I see her, I hear her, I smell her perfume, or maybe I don't. And I'm listening to her talk about fashion design. And after I finish this course, I'm going to get a certification, or I got all the paperwork I need. Or I write down in my paper, or I sketch out a certification. I mean, literally print out a certification and put her name on it and say, certified in learning Anna Winthor's fashion design class. And here's all that I learned in her class. And here is my next steps that I'm going to do. And here is all the papers and stuff that she gave and outlines. And here is how I'm going to utilize this outline. Sounds extreme, but not for people who have a mind of success. The mind of success is a big mind of imagination. And here's the thing, you need to know, unless people live the life that you do, they won't get it. They won't get it and they won't understand it unless they live the life that you do. Unless people live the life that you do, they're never going to even receive the information you give them about success. Okay? Taking care of yourself is success. There's a whole section on skin. I'm definitely going to watch that. By the dermatologist teaching about the skin and the importance of the skin and what we can do to take care of our skin. The skin is very important to me. That's the products I'm buying this weekend. Along with a perfume, I'm also going to buy a skincare product. Okay? There are many things that play a major part in what it is that you want to accomplish. I'm going to be a buck with you, okay? Unless you have an incredible camera, excellent marketing, logos, extreme professionalism, great editing and video skills, you can be successful on YouTube and show your face. Let's make that clear. Show your face. You can be successful on YouTube. But if you want anything like this to run into success, you're going to have to go into the big places and you're going to have to invest into your audio, such as the podcast and stuff like that. And you're going to have to study what the others do as well and build that for yourself as well. Okay? I'm being for real, y'all. I'm telling you, this is the way. No matter how much I may have had life take me this way and that way, this right here is the way. The reason your divestors are successful at numbers and business is because they have kept at it and they show up every day. Okay? They show up every day and they keep at it. I'm not a person that shows up every day over here because I don't like this platform. Anyway, I need to take me a nap before I get up and start shaking and moving some things in my kitchen. So yeah, I gotta go. It's been fun. Yes, baby.